How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. It's officially happening, right? We have a lot of people buying Bitcoin. But this is just the beginning, right? We're getting all these 13F filings. We have new filings here today telling us the names of more investors that are betting huge on Bitcoin. Some having the largest allocation in their whole portfolio, their billion or $5 billion or $20 billion portfolio. The largest allocation being to Bitcoin ETFs. This is after 1 quarter. We also have some other people buying. We have some news that we should cover and a warning, right? A warning. We do have a pump today for Bitcoin as well. If you want to trade Bitcoin, there's a link to Margex underneath the video where you can start trading in just a few minutes. A lot of people trading this breakout here. Might be another nice breakout if we can move above this $65,400 mark. We're pretty darn close to it right now. So if you want to go trade, you can try out Margex. Like I said, it's really easy to set up. There's also a link to CoinW as well in case you want to trade a bunch of other assets as well. You can trade futures, so you can trade on leverage, or you can just buy spot crypto and withdraw it if you want to a cold storage wallet. Now, ETH BTC, let's go over that. ETH BTC falls to a new low here today. You can see we just continue falling down. Now, what does this show for anyone that maybe hasn't looked at this before? It shows Ethereum's price versus Bitcoin's price, the valuations essentially. And as you can see, Ethereum has continuously fallen against Bitcoin since late 2022. That's actually when it peaked, right? This is in the bear market, right? If I'm doing my math right, or if I'm thinking right about the cycles, I believe 2022 was a bear market year, and yet since then we've just been down and down and down, and we're right at this previous resistance. Now, who knows, if we break down under this, maybe we fall another 5-10%. That's what the next resistance was. The next important area was right around 0.041, which would be about 10% down from here. And what does that mean for an investor? Well, even if you're interested in crypto, you still need to know where to invest within crypto. This is why we look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin is at 65K, Ethereum's at about 3,000. Another 10% move would mean either Bitcoin's at 71,000, 72,000, somewhere around there, and Ethereum's the same, or Bitcoin's at the same price and Ethereum's down to 2,700. And it could be a variation of either of those, but whether we move up or move down, if the ETH Bitcoin chart goes down, well, Ethereum becomes less valuable compared to Bitcoin. Now, I've been very cautious about investing too much into altcoins, right? I still talk about altcoins. I still invest in some altcoins, but the majority of my crypto is in Bitcoin because Bitcoin dominance has been going up and Bitcoin just in general seems to be less risky at this point in the market. Now, when the money printer comes back on, all bets are off. Maybe that is when the ETH Bitcoin chart flips or it starts moving back up. And that could be a huge trade for you, right? It could be a huge trade for anyone investing in crypto is you have all this Bitcoin and then you flip it back into Ethereum, ride it up maybe 30, 40%, and then maybe you want to flip it back into Ethereum or back into Bitcoin, right? That's what a lot of people will try to do. Now, the ETFs are buzzing here today. I bet this is a couple hours before the end of the market, to be clear. IBIT still is right around $1 billion in volume, which actually is pretty good compared to where it's been the last week or so. This is higher than what we've seen recently. And we have FBTC on here as well. It's right here with about 443 million in volume, and GBTC way down here at 334 million in volume. So not bad. I mean, we've seen pretty good inflow numbers as well the last few days. We had $100 million net inflow yesterday, which is pretty good. Beto here with $228 million as well. And really what did the majority of the lifting yesterday was ARKB. Let's see if that's on the list. So ARKB not even showing up as one of the top 100 in volume here. But we'll have to kind of see how these inflows shake out here today. I wouldn't be surprised if people went a little bit more risk on after the CPI reading this morning, because it was in between a nothing burger and positive. It was like pretty pretty positive, but not a blowout CPI, not a great CPI, but the market rallied pretty significantly. There were a lot of shorts that got liquidated too, so that could be part of it as well. Now, Coinbase, their Bitcoin reserve is currently 267,000 Bitcoin, down from 418,000 Bitcoin in early 2024. So they've lost a lot of Bitcoin. Part of that probably because a lot of ETFs want to buy their Bitcoin, maybe pay a bit of a premium, right? And Coinbase wants to continue working with large institutions that they can make a lot of money from. There's probably high margin from these institutions, even though they charge them a lot less. They can also probably custody, and there's just a need for Bitcoin right now, and yeah, the reserve is just continuously going down. So good news for Bitcoin holders: when the price price of Bitcoin moves up, more people want Bitcoin, which means more people buy Bitcoin, which means there's less on the exchanges, which means the price goes up faster, right? Now, Mr. 100 is also buying 102 Bitcoin, just a slow and steady 100 Bitcoin a day, or every couple days here. You can see, I'm joking here. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek because this is a massive amount of Bitcoin. I mean, 100 Bitcoin right now, $6 million. They bought $18 million one day. A couple days later, another $6 million, another $6 million here. This is after, at the beginning of the month, they bought 4,400 Bitcoin. So yeah, they have 66,870 Bitcoin. They continue to buy a lot of Bitcoin. Now, I want to get over to some other interesting things. Who's buying here today? But first, I want to talk to you about Dextoro. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about Dextoro because they do have a big giveaway right now. So Dextoro is a decentralized perpetual futures exchange powered by Ethereum that offers exposure to real-world and on-chain synthetic assets with leverage. It's powered entirely by smart contracts as well. Now, they recently just announced this. They have a Dextoro trading competition. I'll leave links to this underneath the video because they are a partner of the channel. You can be among the first 500 users to deposit $100 and place one futures trade to receive $10 worth of DToro reward. Reach trading volume targets to earn additional rewards. For example, $5 for a trading volume of 80,000. $30 for a trading volume of 800,000, $100 for a trading volume of 8 million. Refer a friend and receive an extra $10. Hurry, this promo is only for a limited time and limited participants. Only the first 500 users will receive the rewards. Now, this goes until the 24th of May. Terms and conditions: this event is only for new users who created an account during the event period. Users must be registered for the event to participate. Rewards will be issued within 72 hours after the event ends, and so on. You can read more about this. Now, they are a well-respected exchange. You can see a lot of people that follow them, and they have been around for about a year now. Of course, always do your own research. Make sure you're comfortable with trading as well before you go and place a bunch of bets or go deposit money. But you should go follow them because they are doing more giveaways like this. So definitely check them out down below in the description. Okay, so one of the biggest events here today was CPI, obviously, but then also it's the deadline for the 13F filings. Now, maybe more filings come out later today. Maybe I'll have to make another video, but we've been seeing a lot of people disclosing their buys. Let's just go through some of them. Fund manager Pine Ridge Advisors discloses $205 million in spot ETFs, 23% of their $890 million AUM. We have Mass Mutual reporting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs, a massive insurance company. State of Wisconsin showing $100 million worth. Invesco just filed their 13F. The issuer allocated $1 million to GBTC. Appears to be the first issuer invest in someone else's ETF, not their own. State of Wisconsin. Let's see what else. Is there another one? Discovery Capital Management has $81 million. They're the single largest holder of GBTC, excluding market makers, i.e. Susquehanna. And you can keep on going down. Renaissance Tech, who's from Jim Simmons, one of the best investors of all time, has bought in. The numbers and the names continue. Half the banks, probably more than half the banks, have bought into these ETFs as well. And today, Boothbay, right? That discloses that they have the following positions: BlackRock, 150 million; Fidelity, 105 million; Grayscale, 69.5 million; Bitwise, 52.3 million. So they have what, 250, 320, 370 million, a little bit more than that, $370 million in Bitcoin. So that's about what, 6%, 7% of all of their positions. They went to a 6 or 7% weighting into Bitcoin. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, right? So they're buying. Everyone else seems to be buying too. Now, ETFs hold $60 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is after 1/4 of these ETFs trading. Now, of course, before we did have Grayscale. So that's been swallowing up some Bitcoin from the beginning. But a lot of that money has come in. A lot of this 60 billion has come in from new money, right? So 200,000 Bitcoin bought net in the last 4 months. This is the first quarter where these companies can start allocating as well to Bitcoin. I think this is only going to continue. I think there are going to be more and more companies every single quarter. And of course, at some point it will change depending on the economic outlook. But more and more companies, especially these first few quarters, maybe the first year or two, will continue to buy Bitcoin, will continue to go heavier into it. I mean, the fact that some institutions, some hedge funds or money managers went 6% into Bitcoin shows that they have high conviction, right? When they outperform and they start taking AUM, because Bitcoin will probably go up, they'll start taking AUM from other hedge funds, from other institutions. Those other institutions will feel FOMO. The reason that people will move over here is because if you go and put 7% in Bitcoin and it goes and doubles, well, then just that portion of your portfolio made 7%. The other 93% of your portfolio, maybe it gets 10%. You get a 17% return. That is insane. That's a really good return. And that will outperform just about every other hedge fund asset manager out there. They'll start getting more AUM, and then other competitors will have to make up that difference. They'll have to figure out a way to outperform as well, and then they'll feel FOMO and start buying Bitcoin. Remember too, this is for the quick movers. Right now, like, you have 3 months to start getting your clients on board or to start buying Bitcoin ETFs. A lot of them have probably just started. They're not going to allocate fully to a position within a week or two, right? A lot of them did take months to get this past compliance. And more companies will continue to start buying Bitcoin. Like, this is not the end. This is not the end game 3 months into buying the Bitcoin ETFs. No, there are going to be a lot more people that want to buy in. There are going to be a lot more states. There are going to be a lot more pensions. There are going to be a lot more hedge funds. There are going to be a lot more banks. There are going to be a lot more people that want to allocate heavier to Bitcoin, especially after they see the performance, right? My in-laws, I helped them buy some Bitcoin. I helped them buy a decent amount of Bitcoin, and they were really happy with the returns. Like, within a day or two after the ETFs launched, their investment went down 10%. I said, just relax, right? Don't worry. It's probably going to come back up. It's just a matter of time. Now, they bought in at 46. They're at 65 now. That's a nice return. That's a 40% return. I bet you that's better than they've had in their portfolios any year of their investing journey, right? A 40% return doesn't happen in retirement accounts. So a lot of people will want more. They'll want more Bitcoin. They see this, they'll see the return, and then they'll say, hey, that did really well. Do you think we should put some more money in Bitcoin? And I'll probably say, it depends on your situation, and I'll go through the whole thing. But I do think it's going higher. So I think we are in I think we are going to be in an insane bull market. And you just want to make sure that you have enough allocated that it makes a difference, right? $10 in Bitcoin is better than nothing. To be clear, it's better than nothing. But $10 isn't going to be life altering. So if you have money that you want to allocate towards Bitcoin, I'll say what I always say: which is go watch a video on my home screen because I go through like in a full video whether you should allocate or not. Should you wait to buy or should you buy? But if you've been waiting to buy Bitcoin, I still think you should dollar cost average into it. Just like always, right? You can always lump sum, but then your emotions get out of whack. But if you've been waiting to buy Bitcoin, I don't think it's too late. But also, you probably should have bought when I've been screaming buy for the last year and a half. I've been through the whole bear market. I've been making videos every day. But if you weren't here, well, dollar cost average. You're not going to time it perfectly, but you're going to get in before the next move, most likely. It depends how long you take, I suppose. But yeah, just be ready because who knows? We can break out very quickly. And if you do want to go play some trades, right, this is not for people that are completely new to the market, right? If you're just figuring out how to buy Bitcoin or something, trading with leverage probably isn't the best thing for you. But if you have been around for a while, if you want to go amplify your returns, which is something that I've talked about a lot, like if you think Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000, 80,000, 150,000, maybe you want to put on a long. Now, not with your whole portfolio, but maybe you want to go put a little bit in a low leverage long. I've done that a handful of times, especially when we see dips, when everyone gets bearish. This, anywhere in this range, is where I love to put on long positions, low leverage longs, because if we're at 60,000, I go 5x long. I know that I'm not going to get liquidated until right around 48,000, maybe a little bit more or less depending on fees and depending on when I exactly get in. But what does that tell me? Well, that tells me that I have this whole area of support right here. So even if we break prior lows, I still have all this area where we'll probably bounce off or consolidate, people will buy. And I have the psychological level of 50,000 and I have this wick here. So I have a lot of protection and I can always add more to the trade if need be. So that's kind of my thinking behind leverage trading. If you're going to do long, if you're going to do low leverage long positions, but some people like to scalp. Some people like to trade these ranges, which is something that I've done before too. You can do it pretty well. Of course, you need to make sure that you understand trading. I have a video actually coming out in the next day with a pro trader who scalps. Like he goes into very tight time frames. It's not a swing position. It's not on for weeks. It's on for a matter of minutes or hours. So I'll post that video here pretty soon. Be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. Again, you can check out all those links underneath the video to Dex Toro, to MargeX, to CoinW, and to Blowfin too. You can trade there. Thank you so much. Be on the lookout because we are right at this prior resistance. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.